Hey all, I'm Occupational Click, and I wanted to come on just briefly for the hell of it. Yeah, brother Click's in bed. I figure, what the hell? I got shit I should be doing. I know that, but I figure, why don't I come on briefly? I had some beers before. The beers are pretty good. It's a hot night. It's a warmer night. But then I switched to tea. So I thought, what the hell? I can stream for like half an hour or some shit. So I want to discuss some stuff. But first, because you're probably asking, who is Opha May Johnson? And we celebrate women here, our starlingettes. We love it is very much a simp for the girls channel. So this is in memoriam of Opha May Johnson. Her maiden name was Jacob. And who was she? Well, first let's get this. She was born May 4th, 1878. She died August 11th of 1955. So if you do the math, if I got it right, she was 77 years young. And yes, today's the 13th. She died on the 11th. So two days ago was the anniversary of her passing. And let's see, 1955 to 2025 is what, 70 years? So she's been dead. So she lived to be 77, and she's been dead for 70 years. 70 years. So she was 77 years old when she died. Another 7 years, she'll have been dead as long as, as much time since she's been alive. But even though the anniversary of her death was a couple days ago, 77 decades since she died in 1955. Today is the anniversary. Today is the anniversary of her enlisting in the Marines. She was the very first woman to enlist in the United States Marine Corps. Now, this was back in 1918. Remember, she was born in 78, right? 88, 98, 08. So she was about 40, 39 going on 40 when she became the first ever female Marine. This was in the latter days of World War I, the Great War, just when the U.S. had entered it. And she never saw combat, being 40 years old. She was a glorified secretary, but she was on a list. It was the first time ever that women were allowed to become Marines. So... and how long ago was that? That was 1918 to 2018 is 100 years. That was 7 years ago. 107 years ago, at the age of damn near 40, she became the first ever female Marine. And she never saw combat. She just did clerical work, basically enlisting younger female Marines. And then after she got out, I think she was discharged, but I guess she got some kind of military pension or whatever. So I thought it was fitting because on this day, 107 years ago, we got our first female Marine. Let me type that. First. We got our first 100, and that first female Marine, Opha May Jacob Johnson. Jacobson, whatever her name was, Opha May Jacob Johnson. She ended up dying 2 days shy of the anniversary. She died in 1955, 37 years after becoming the first female Marine. She died 2 days shy of her 37th Marinization, 70 years ago today. Oh, no, 70 years ago, 2 days ago. Point is, she's been dead 70 years. And 107 years ago, she became her first female Marine. So I wanted to dedicate this to the memory. Let's see if we can get a picture of the lovely, beautiful, gorgeous. Oh, my God. Let's share a screen here. There we go. I should make that my, my image here. Opha May Johnson. This is weird. I don't know why this says 1900 to 1976. The main article says 1878 to 1955. So who knows? Now that's got to be a mistake. Someone should edit that. I don't know, there she is. Opha May, because this tells us 1878 to 1955. Yeah, so she's been dead for 70 years now, as of a couple days ago. But it was 107 years ago today she became the first United States Marine Corps female in the reserve during the Great War, or World War I. And there she is. A beaut, isn't she? Man, she's gorgeous. Actually, I guess she looks like what the first female Marinette would look like. So, okay. But again, she never saw combat. She was damn near 40. So, the fact that they made her Marine is actually kind of, it's almost like they're saying the whole thing's a joke because instead of some 18, 19-year-old chick, the very first woman to become a Marine reservist is fucking 40 years old. And of course, she never saw it. So anyway, I wanted to dedicate this wonderful stream to Opha May Jacob Johnson. Let's all, bask in her beauty. Did I close it? Okay, I closed the window. Okay, cool. Why stream about it, you ask? Well, like you said, we finally had the first ever female umpire to work a home plate in Major League Baseball history. And I remember one time, there was only one to say, I'm not really into Discord, but if Cassandra is here, she can confirm this. There was one time months ago, Cassandra asked me, she said, can you join me and Beppis in playing some game? And the game was something kind of like Scrabble. You fill in letters and something like that, and you got to type. I forget the whole game, but one of the, I was looking, they gave you a few letters, and I thought of the word umpire. So I typed in the word umpire. It's kind of funny, but, Cassandra can confirm this. And Beppis, who speaks English well, wasn't familiar with the term umpire because it's kind of an obscure term. It's mostly a baseball term. And, if you don't follow American sports, you might not, you're not going to learn this word in, whatever it's called. You write a word using the two letters given. It's called the bomb. 2 letters, but also the fill-in letters have to be, okay, whatever. The point is, I did the word umpire, and Beppis wasn't sure. It was one of those words she didn't know what it was, which is understandable. So I did that, and now, a few months later, we have our first female umpire. So in the celebration of women, because I'm all about celebrating foids, as you know, I want to celebrate. Plus, I just thought it was fitting how, she became the first female Marine 107 years ago, and she died a couple days shy, 70 years later, 70 years since. So it's like, what is it? 37 years, 2 days shy of the 37-year anniversary of becoming the first Marine. She died, which was now 70 years ago. So because the date of her death and the date of her becoming the first female Marine reservist sort of line up, I wanted to dedicate. It's my stream. I'll dedicate it to whoever I damn well please. But yes, and we've had our first female umpire, and yeah. Oh, you don't like this? It's a hot night. Enjoy. I thought you'd enjoy the show. I thought I was going to monetize my channel tonight, and was hoping that my sexy, it would entice donations. I'm like a street performer. But yes, cheers to Opha May. I agree. I fully, 107 years ago today, she was our first female Marine, technically reservist, damn near 40, but our first female Marine, Marinette. And then, a couple days ago was the 70th anniversary of her death. So I just wanted to celebrate Opha May Jacob Johnson. Forgive me. Forgive me. Forgive me. So, none. Well, like I said, the umpire story, the umpire story, but, well, I'm not really, Toolie. I'll name, my last stream was called Fire Ants and Bigfoot. We talked about the fire ants, then we talked about Bigfoot. We don't have to fight, but it goes where it goes. No, I'm going to stream for 3 or 4 hours, and we're going to talk about nothing but Opha May Johnson. Opha May Johnson. I want a full book report. Yes. Yeah, it's a word that doesn't come often, but like with the letters given, I'm like, I think quick. I'm like, umpire. And Beppis, like I said, her English is very good, but she's like, what's an umpire? And you understand, a Swede might not be familiar with a term that's pretty much restricted. As far as I know, I could be wrong. As far as I know, umpire is only used in American baseball. I could be wrong, but the term is actually somewhat unique. An umpire, you're an American. Even if you're not a sporty person, as an American, we all know what an umpire is. Strike, you're out. We all know what it is, but I guess it's one of those terms they don't teach you. If you're learning English as a second language, it's really not that essential a term, but it is very American in the sense that it's a big part of baseball. Safe, strike. I can tell you one good sports story of my life. where an umpire declared me safe. But maybe I'll think about it. But hold on. The game was called Bomb Party. I didn't say it was just an American thing. I'm not a sporty guy. Maybe they have umpires in tennis. I believe you. I don't fucking know. I don't know. When I hear the word umpire, the first thing I think of is baseball. I think most Americans are the same, even tennis lovers. If you're an American, for better or for worse, the first thing you think of is baseball. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that most Americans would think of umpire. Safe, strike, yeah. Umpire makes the calls, you know. Yes, it's still either way, it's still a very specific term. Really, I'm trying to talk about, you know, the lovely Opha May Johnson, and you guys want to talk about umpires. I didn't cold approach anyone. I got a hot approach from some crazy black lady. I saw her. Well, actually, that's another good thing. I want to bring up a comment. I actually want to respond. MEBANKS left an interesting comment. I want to respond to it because I do appreciate, you don't have to go out of your way to write insightful comments, but when they come up, I want to address them. So I'll address that in a minute. Yeah. Well, you agree? Okay, so I'm too sexy. I got to put this away. If I want to monetize this is too much for for YouTube to handle. I'm too sexy. So you want me to address the question? You want me to apologize to him? Maybe we should just leave that topic alone because if it's such a stinging point for him. Well, enlighten us, Ice Wallow, because Americans watch tennis too, but I'm not a sporty guy to begin with. As an American, I think most of us would think baseball first, just because that's our national pastime, and maybe umpires used elsewhere. But again, we're talking about a Swedish girl, unlike cat, dog, boy, girl, man, woman, sun, moon, day, night, rain, sunshine. Umpire's not a term that's on the top of the list of things to teach people learning English as a second language. It's not. So, if you've missed the, okay, so maybe as an American, I think baseball. Maybe, the British would think cricket, tennis lovers or softball lovers. The point is, Cassandra, you're missing the fucking point. Beppis didn't know this term because you're right. This isn't like an essential word to learn. You can function speaking English and not know what an umpire is. It's not essential. You know what umpire means. Bathroom, that's an essential term. Umpire. Plus, we weren't talking about cricket or tennis or softball. We were talking, Toolie mentioned the first female umpire in baseball, specifically. You arrogant fuck. Yes, we were talking about baseball here. I'm sure umpires exist elsewhere, but we were talking about the first female umpire in American baseball. You ignorant fuck. Always trying to make it about you. We were specifically discussing American baseball and the first female umpire. Hello again, clone. I'm really losing interest. I'm already starting to regret streaming at this point. DBF, how many fucking accounts? How many alt accounts do you have here, man? Yeah, you told me this. Why didn't you break the space-time continuum? Come on. I want to see what it'll look like 20 years from now. But speaking of the passage of time, I'll share some photos that I shared on Discord, but maybe not everyone saw. 30 years ago and 40 years ago. I'll share them in a minute. Okay. Dude, I'm a griller. If 20 years from now, both literally and figuratively, I like to grill on the grill, the charcoal grill, and I like to grill people. If 20 years from now you're telling me I've become somewhat like, domesticated cuck, like numbnuts down in Australia, then, I'd rather shoot myself in the head right now. Thank you. Oh, no. A fateful... So wait, is your face even more fucked up? I got to see you, man. You're me 20 years from now. I want to see what I look like with a burned up face in 60 years. Right. It's not used enough that you would teach someone. It wouldn't be like, that would be more advanced level of English, because a term like umpire isn't essential to function day to day in an English speaking environment. Damn, is this dying? Gotta charge my vape. Damn it. Oh, did my mic die? Oh, shit. Can you hear me? Yes, you can see me typing away as I talk to myself. Yes, I'm clearly typing this because I'm typing as I talk to myself. Yeah. Good. I heard a ding, ding, ding. I thought my microphone disconnected. That happens sometimes. Okay, glad you could hear it. Okay. Well, I wanted to address some comments and show some pictures, and of course, celebrate the late Opha May. Let me get another tea. Give me a minute. If you want to hang out, hang out. If not, you can fuck off. I don't care. I'm actually surprised. There are 5 people here. I was expecting maybe 2. Okay, but all right. Ah, yes. Yeah, we were having beer, but the beer went down, so it's a hot night. The beer went down so easily. And then my brother went to bed, and I kind of lost the taste. I had another beer, and then I sort of lost the taste for beer, and I wanted my 5%, not 8. That's too hard. I wanted my 5% twisted tea. So, okay. There we go. Where was I? No, man, you're enjoying this. I did this for you. I was hoping you'd show up. This is for you. Fine. Okay, I'll be no shoes, no shirt, no service. All right. Now, where was I? Okay. I'm gonna do something. Oh yeah. Yeah. Good. I want to see you with your grilling accent and all. I like to grill. And if my future self doesn't, then he's not even me. He should commit suicide immediately. Well, you might have seen them already, but I wanted to share them for those who aren't my friend on Discord or aren't part of that magic group. It's just 2 little photos. I should get a photo from 10 years ago, like now, 10 years ago, and 20 years ago. But here, let me show you a photo from 30 years ago, if you give me a sec. And I'll show you one from 40 years ago. Hold on. What the hell is this? Okay. I blurred out once again. I put a box over brother. He was like 10 years old here. I was about 13. That's me and my brother and my father at some pier, at some beach somewhere. Just, So it's amazing how decades fly by because, I don't feel that old. It doesn't feel that long ago. And there are people, of course, much, much older than me. You think back decades and decades. But now we've got kids who weren't even alive when this picture was taken. Weren't born for another 10 or 15 years. So this is like the ancient past to them when it was just, another, I just opened a photo album because I live in the house that my parents rented. When I moved them out, I didn't move out the photo albums. There's no time. So I have all these old photo albums. I just grabbed this one photo. It was taken on, the film camera. in the days before digital cameras. It was a film camera. Take the roll of films get developed, and that was just one summer's day 30 years ago. But it's amazing because I don't feel that much different. In many ways, I am still just a man-child teenager, like that, the boy you see there. But yeah, it was 3 decades ago. Scary. If I'm still alive, I wonder what I'll be like in a few more decades. I wish I'd at least tell myself or show myself, future me, future me. So maybe it's fitting future me is here. Why, thank you, Cassandra. Yeah, I always wanted to do that, but it seems like a project that's going to take forever. And is anyone going to look at these photos? Maybe I can take the negatives and scan the negatives somehow. I don't know. So yes, that's me. That's my father. That's Brother Click 30 years ago. 95. We're in 25. I'm pretty sure it was 1995. I mean, there's no date on the back. I was just going by the photo albums and trying to figure out roughly what year it was. I believe that was 1995, I think. And again, maybe I'm off by a year or so. I don't know. But it's about 30 years ago. Close enough. Close enough. 30 years. 30 years down. Oh, I figured 20 years from now, my memory would be really fried. Well, are you scanning the photographs themselves, or are you scanning the negatives, Cassandra? What are you, But now, that was 30 years ago. I want to show you a picture of 40 years ago when I was a little boy. I want to share another photo. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? Oh. And you're doing what, on the glass? Are you taking it to a professional place? You're just doing it with your home printer? What are you, or scanner? What are you doing? Portable scanner for some, good photo scan for others. Google photo scan. All right, we'll have to discuss this further. Maybe I'll take your word for it and I'll try it. I'll take your advice. But yeah. Anyway, that was 30 years ago. That's some pier. That's the Atlantic Ocean. There you go. All right, so let me pull up 40. You want to go back in time 40? Who wants to go back in time 40 years? If 30 years was just disgusting enough for you, I won't go back another decade. But if you want, I'll show you me 40 years ago. Want to see it? All right, let's bring it up. Remember, I can't go back 50 years. I'm not that old. So you're not going to see 1975. But I can show you me in 1985 if you really want to see it. Share screen. Where is it? Here it is. There we go. That's me when I was about, I'm guessing, around 3 years old based on the photo. It's amazing. I'm noticing the back of my hair, I got that little 3-point alfalfa thing. But that's me, my childhood home. And if you look here, where is it? This is a Viewmaster. In fact, I think this is a film canister. Like my father probably gave me one of his empty film The rolls of film used to come in these plastic bottle things. But that's a Viewmaster. You put this little round thing in the slot and click, and it shows you. You look through it and you see, that's me as a little boy. There you go. I don't want to go nuts. I'm not going to show you every picture of everything, but I wanted to do a comparison, a juxtaposition. You saw me 30 years ago on a beach pier. Here I am 40 years ago on the porch of my childhood home. What do you mean, oh, geez? Disappointed, Cassandra? Can you tell that's me? Can you tell that's a young occupational click? Yeah, they might still be around for all I know. I don't have kids, so I don't know. They might still be a thing. I don't know. I have no idea. I think my old ones were given away or thrown out, so I have no idea. But they might still be. I can see children still liking, despite the digital age we're in, they're very kid-friendly, putting a little thing. Yeah, so they might still be around. But the point is, here I am as a little boy. My mother dressed me before you say, why are you wearing it? My mother, if you were dressing yourself at the age of 3, then God bless you. My mother dressed me. That's what she thought I should wear that day. And yeah, just me and my childhood home with some garbage cans in the back and a Viewmaster. And I think I'm pretty sure it looks like a film canister. And with rolls of film, you didn't need that for the Viewmaster. I guess my father gave me them to play with. The old film, I don't know. Or maybe they're not. I don't know. I don't know. But, you know. Well, I think all kids are cute to some extent. Okay, there you go. Yeah, see? They're still a thing. Well, in a pre-digital world, I guess it was a big deal. I don't know. I don't know. So anyway, but you can tell, is that a young, 40 years ago, is that a young occupational click? I'll try it. Wait, hold on. How do I do this? Damn it. There we go. Can we see the resemblance? I don't know if I can recreate that face if I wanted to. I can try to comb my bangs into my my eyebrows again. You know, my face was never symmetrical. It's probably gotten every passing year. It gets less and less symmetrical. Yeah, maybe it doesn't look at me at all. Maybe that was my other brother who like died mysteriously in the, you know, I'm like the evil twin or some shit. Why shouldn't I try to match it? Don't tell me what I can and can't do, Cassandra. Here. How do I make this full size? Funny. All right, there we go. Well, Cassandra says it looks like me. Toolie says looks nothing like me. Apparently, my eyebrows haven't changed in 40 plus years, but okay. I guess I'll have to look at them again. I'll have to share them again. Okay. So we saw. Maybe I'll scan some more photos. Maybe not. I don't want to go nuts with photos. I just wanted to show. I showed you me 30 years ago, and that's me. This is me now 40 years ago. Before you were born, Cassandra. Before you were born, Toolie. That's what I looked like 40 years ago. Just wanted to prove that, you know, I'm me. In case anyone, like, you know, wants a copy of my birth certificate to prove I am who I say I am. Yes, I'm occupational click, and this is me 40 years ago. There you go. All right, maybe I'll scan a few more. As long as someone appreciates them, that's cool. Okay, so anyway, let's stop screen here. Okay, so we saw that. Maybe I'll make that my profile pic. But then again, we want to remember Opha May Johnson because, you know. Yes, it is. It really is. Anyway. Oh, what did I hear? Here it is. All right, I actually want to address KevinMebanks, who's not here now, but I want to address him. He left a comment. It was a nice comment. It was interesting. It was thought-provoking. So I'm going to pull that up now because I want to at least address. I told my brother before, I said, I want to address that comment. And he's like, well, I got to go to bed. You can do what you want. I said, yeah, what the hell? So I'm going to address that now. How do I, once again, give me a minute. Got to figure this out. Whew. Okay, so this was my most recent video. It was just me door dashing or Uber Eatsing Palmer Square, Princeton. If you didn't watch it, you don't have to. But if you want to, go ahead because I'm not going to spoon feed you what happened. But long story short, I'll watch the very beginning. Just the very beginning. I'm not going to walk around Princeton again. You can watch me watch the very beginning here. Hold on. Okay, it was a bit of a hike, but we found apartment F. See if the dude comes out. And yes, the instruction said, please knock. So I knocked. Oh, hey. What's up, man? Right? This is F, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Have fun. Okay, so this guy is living. Hold on. I'll show you. This guy is living in the heart of downtown Princeton, an Ivy. You've probably heard of it, Princeton University, Ivy League American college. He's living in the heart of it. There are a bunch of restaurants on a Friday night in August. Why is he? I remember thinking, like, I can understand if it was a Wednesday night in like November. It's cold, it's chilly. You got class the next morning. You're studying for an exam. Understandable, but it's a Friday night. So you obviously don't have class tomorrow in August. So you definitely don't have class. I remember thinking, why is this guy on a Friday night in summertime ordering from, usually those apps, like, they will, Palmer Square Princeton has, well, Toolie, that's what I want to address because MEBANKS left an interesting comment. We'll get to it in a minute. Palmer Square is one of these places that has a high concentration of restaurants, all within walking distance. So these delivery apps, they might want you to pick up in Palmer Square, which is a pain in the ass because there's no parking. They want you to pick up there and then deliver them farther away to people living outside that area. This was the opposite. I picked up at a restaurant nowhere near here to drop off to an apartment in Palmer Square. That's very rare. People who live in high restaurant districts don't normally get deliveries like that unless, like I said, it's a Wednesday night in November. You got an exam the next day, fine. But on a Friday night in the summertime, it was a very rare occurrence. So I thought the same thing. And I said that in my video here. Let me jump ahead. Hold on. Because it's like Normie Central, you know what I mean? We're in a place called Princeton, New Jersey. And I didn't want to count weird, we do some demographics, we do some shit like that. We bring occupational click out. There we go. Although I should add, the dude I delivered it to this is the building, one of those top floor apartments, probably in the back. He's living in the heart of it all. Don't know if it was a scholarship or what. Despite living in the heart of it all, instead of walking outside, I was talking about, there was a guy I passed by who was screwed up. He was walking funny. He was tall, had a good jawline, but he was all fucked up. No. I'm talking about the guy I delivered to, man. You clearly didn't pay attention. It's okay. I'll spoon feed again. In a car, just walk outside and go to one of these restaurants. He's ordering like fucking Chinese food or Thai food from a couple towns over that I passed through. So like, he's like, that's the juxtaposition. Princeton is known for its, nerds and spurgs, basically, right, with high intelligence going to the university. And that's what that guy struck me as. He got out of Romania because of his brains, but he must look out the window at Normie Central and think, holy fucking shit, I can't have any of that. He's probably still in that phase because he's young. He's probably thinking, well, I am new to country, so it's my accent. Yes, that's why. And, I keep working hard. I get degree from Princeton. Oh, boy. And then I get a good job, and then the ladies like me. I can be the stud of Palmer Square. Okay, so I'll pull that back up in a minute. Oh, shit. What, did I close it? Damn. KevinMebanks left an interesting comment, which I want to address. So I'll do that in a minute. But no, I didn't say anything about it. I dropped off at this basically nerd, geek, Eastern European, mathematics major who lives in the heart of everything and yet orders from DoorDash. So I commented on that. The jawline thing was about, there was a crippled guy walking by here. Let me see if I can find him real quick. Let me see if I can find him. I got to review my own damn videos. Okay, hold on. All right, share screen one more time. Where is it? Oh, I think that guy. There we go. There we go. This is what you're talking about. See this guy? I'm not trying to make fun, but he's all. I think that guy, based on his jawline and his height, had the potential to be some kind of high-tier normie or even Chad Light. That doodly doot is the Uber. But most of these requests suck, so I'm going to ignore it. That guy had the potential, to be a high-tier normie, low-tier Chad, maybe. But because he's a cripple fuck, we know points are going to be taken off. But, right. So I understand. I'm the same way. Sometimes, I like to listen to a video, but you can't always get the gist in listening. Because if I say that guy, this is where visuals help. The first guy I was talking about was the Eastern European dude I delivered to. The second guy was this, cripple weirdo walking down the street who probably could have been a high-tier normie based on his height and jawline. So I was talking about two different guys. You probably just sort of listened while you were stocking, you're stocking the shelves of the meat, the processed meat. So you probably misunderstood. So maybe this is why it's good I spoon feed some of you people sometimes. But anyway. Where are we? Well, Bud Lake, that's north of here. That's kind of where my sister lives. So, tell her to check out my channel. We'll meet up. We'll have a meetup somewhere halfway, and we'll would she even be interested in a channel like this? Christ. Anyway. Well, I'm not going out to fucking Arizona, but I'll go up to Bud Lake. That's only like an hour or so from here. I'll go to Bud Lake, but Arizona, unless you want to pay for the ticket, Toolie. Well, maybe you should. I can see you. You're both in Arizona. I can visit both of you. That'd be awesome. Like I said, maybe fly into Los Angeles, rent a car, see Doggo and Endymion, and then make my way. Was there someone else? Doggo and Endymion. There was someone else in L.A. I can't remember who. See the three Los Angelinos, and then make my way out to Arizona to see Cassandra and Seymour and you, Toolie. Okay, well, we'll talk about this. Then continue on to Abilene and Dallas, Fort Worth, and see Horsehead and Penny Pounder. Yes, like a series of videos. Like when I went to go see Dumb, this would be more epic. Yes. What are you talking? I would totally, but it's not in the near future. But based on life at the moment, you're talking about me coming to Arizona or me meeting your friend in Bud Lake. I was only joking. Yeah, someday never comes. Yeah, I know. Well, then she should be cool with me if she's married to a Spurg. And they say a lot of American Spurgs marry foreigners because, there's already a misunderstanding, the cultural disconnect. So foreign women are more tolerant of Spurgs because, they're different from Americans to begin with. And they can chalk up normie Spurg differences to American foreign differences. But, Well, then you come to fucking New Jersey and visit me. So I'll give you my address. You want to come visit me? We'll stream together. We'll make videos together. If you want to come visit me, I'll give you my address. If you want to pay for the fucking ticket, I'll pick you up at Newark Airport or Philadelphia Airport. I'm dead serious, but we know. Oh, yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Cassandra and I aren't going to meet up, but yeah, it's a good idea, comrade. Good idea. Anyway, let's get back to what was said. So I was talking about that Eastern European, I guess like Romanian or something. The guy living in an apartment across from Normie Central, but ordering from Uber Eats. Now, who knows? Maybe he was entertaining. He had a girl there with him. I didn't see one, but maybe. And they were so busy, they didn't want to walk across the street. They don't, he'll get dressed enough to see the Uber Eats driver, but he didn't want to. Maybe he's gay. Maybe he's a gamer. He's in the middle of some crazy game. Whatever. The point is, it was still odd that you live in this Normie Central cluster of restaurants, and it's a Friday night in August. There's really no excuse for you to be using an app. Again, a Wednesday night in November, I get it, but. And, so MEBANKS posted something. It's true. We don't know what his backstory is, this dude. But, I speculated. Here's what I speculated. Let's come back to this. He's living in the heart of it all. Mm-hmm. Don't know if it was a scholarship or what. Despite living in the heart of it all, instead of walking outside, not even a car, just walk outside and go to one of these restaurants. He's ordering like fucking Chinese food or Thai food from a town, a couple towns over that I passed through. So like, he's like that's the juxtaposition. Princeton is known for its, nerds and spurgs basically with high intelligence going to the university. And that's what that guy struck me as. He got out of Romania because of his brains, but he must look out the window at Normie Central and think, holy fucking shit, I can't have any of that. He's probably still in that phase because he's young. He's probably thinking, well, I am new to country, so it's my accent. Yes, that's why. And, I keep working hard. I get degree from Princeton, oh boy, and then I get good job, and then the ladies like me. I can be the stud of Palmer Square. I don't want to, burst his bubble there, but yeah, whoa. Because you're right. Why isn't he out just buying his own food? The many restaurants around the square across from his fucking, unless maybe he just really wanted Thai and there's not a good Thai. Still, it just seems like okay. All right. So, all right. Let's take a look here. Now I'm gonna read MEBANKS' comment because I think it was a pretty good comment. Because you're right. We don't know. Maybe he had a girl over that night. I doubt it, but maybe he's queer. It doesn't matter to him. Maybe he was gaming. Who knows? But still, there's that Friday night. Instead of just walking across and getting something nice to eat, a nice summer night, you're ordering. Okay, so anyway, to respond to KevinMebanks here, because I wanted to respond to him. Oh, and that's the one thing I want to say real quick. Let me see if I can zoom in. And we'll read this in a minute. But in the meantime, what I wanted to say was, I had said this in the video. I'll repeat it again. A lot of these people who do these deliveries, these dashes and these Uber Eats and these Grubhut, whatever, they're weirdos. They're fuck-ups. And especially on Fridays and Saturdays, you're serving the normies. So this, like I said, I would never go to Palmer Square of my own accord. But it's like the weird thing about these apps, they are forcing weirdo fuck-ups to put themselves in an environment they wouldn't normally be in or be welcome in, because it's basically forcing weirdo, ugly, fuck-up spurg, loser, uggos, weirdos, whatever you want to call us, whatever label you want to, they're injecting us. These apps are injecting us into normie environments that we wouldn't otherwise be welcome in or want to even be part of or show our faces in. So I thought that was interesting. So let's get to the comment that KevinMebanks said. Okay, let's see. Here he goes. He says, let me go one more closer. I want to make sure you guys can read this. Wait. Okay. The Romanian dude, this is the guy I delivered to in the apartment F, not the guy who was all crippled on the street. The Romanian dude may have already tried walking around, 24/7 with a buzz on to capitalize on it. Okay, so when he first got this apartment in Normie Central, a couple blocks from the university itself, he thought, this is great. I'm in walking distance to the college, all this socialization going on outside. Awesome. But after trying his luck, like you saw me walking around, he did what I did, and he was just a ghost passing through. He had garbage results. So you're right. Maybe the Romanian guy tried, and he failed, and he gave up. He said, fuck it. I've learned my lesson. I got an apartment in Normie Square thinking it would be, the best time of my life. Instead, it's just, it's no different than living anywhere else. I could just easily be on a fucking farm somewhere, because whether I'm in Normie Central or in the middle of nowhere, I'm just a fucking invisible ghost. Yeah. Then again, says MEBANKS, whenever I see a scrawny, bad posture, Norwooding, that means balding, scrawny, bad posture, balding slob at the grocery store, I assume one of us. We will make you one of us. Hold on. Like Toolie just said, he's one of us, obviously. MEBANKS is saying the opposite. MEBANKS is saying, Toolie, I agree with you up to an extent. I'll see someone who I assume is one of us. I assume. See that? MEBANKS is saying, I look at guys like this and I assume one of us. Just like you're saying, Toolie, obviously one of us. Then 3 aisles later, I turn the corner and there's this cute enough, maybe not good looking, but cute enough looks match girl with one arm around, the loser and the other holding a toddler, their child together. So who knows? So my first thing I want to say to MEBANKS is, MEBANKS, that's creepy. You shouldn't be following people around grocery stores. You're stalking them. But if you saw my video with the crazy Shibu nigger bitch, same thing. I saw her twice, and she accused me, I saw you once, I see you a second time. You must be one of those people who's following me and my family, part of that group. I've been to grocery stores. I see some fucking little old lady in my way in produce. A few aisles later, she's in my way in pasta. A few aisles later, she's in my way in the soup section. A few aisles later, so it's normal when two people are shopping at the same time, they might run into each other. So I'm joking, but understand, like when I share my stories, I get the whole, why were you stalking those people, OC? Well, only the old black lady was in the store. The other two were in the car. They had no idea what was going on. They didn't come into the store. And the lady I saw her once in meet, and then as I was trying to leave, had I left a little earlier or a little later, I wouldn't have run into her. But I guess when she first saw me, she thought, it's one of my spurred mannerisms set her off. And in her cartoon mind, she thought, it's one of those people who's stalking us. Yes. If I see him again, I'm going to confront him. And then with my luck, I see her a second time and it's, So I'm joking. I'm joking. But MEBANKS is saying basically, on a side note, you go to the grocery store, you see somebody, and then 3 aisles later, you see them again. That's part of life. But I get the fucking troll saying, why were you following her? Yeah, you never been grocery shopping before? Christ. But getting back to his point, you're in the grocery store, you see someone who you think is, quote unquote, one of us, like Toolie said. You think he's one of us, like MEBANKS and Toolie. You think they're one of us. But then 3 aisles later, you turn the corner, and there's the same guy who you think is one of us, with a cute-ish chick, and they clearly have a kid together. I guess that guy is we would call an oofy doofy. He's obviously not a Chad, but he's an oofy doofy, and hey, maybe it works. So who knows? Like MEBANKS says. So who knows? And then this is what I've talked about. MEBANKS and I've tried to explain to people who don't know, especially foreigners, but even people who know this part of the world. MEBANKS and I don't live in the same area per se, but we live in two adjacent areas. His area and my area touch each other. So while I'm not in Lehigh Valley every day, and he's probably not in Princeton every day, we're close enough that, not the same area, but two adjacent areas. So MEBANKS, like I know Bethlehem. I remember as a kid going to see at Christmas time, going to see all the fucking lights. In the summertime, that music festival. I had cousins in Lehigh Valley. He's been to, we're in two nearby adjacent areas. And he's saying that, yes, he used to, I love the Princeton Record Exchange, but maybe I'll do a video going there. I've been going there all my life. So MEBANKS, like me, he says used to. I still will occasionally. Princeton Record Exchange, very famous record store. Allegedly, at one point, claimed to be the largest, record store in the United States. I don't know if that's true or not. But so MEBANKS knows the Princeton Record Exchange. Yeah, it's a couple blocks east of Palmer Square. And he'd go there with his buddies, whom he called hipster adjacent. Maybe not hipsters, but his buddies were hipster adjacent. And I guess this must have been when he was in his 20s. And these guys are all married now. These hipster adjacent white guys are either married to fat fucking land whales or, they went the brown route. So good comment. Oh, wait, do we not see any of this? Oh, shit, do we not see any of this? Did I not put it back up? Damn. Anyway, yeah, the Princeton. Maybe I'll do a video there. I still like I haven't been there in quite a while, probably a couple years. But yeah, very nice record shop. You can buy a lot of cheap, you can buy used vinyl for $1. I used to do that because you can download songs, listen to anything. But if you want to get into an album, if you really want to get into some album that you've never heard of before, it's one thing to search for a song on the internet, but it's another to say, okay, here's $1. Let me buy this vinyl record. I'll go home and listen to it. Oh, this song's pretty good. This one's kind of shit. Oh, that's the big hit. This song wasn't a hit, but it's catchy. Yeah, it's a good way for $1 to like listen to an album that like I would never sit down and listen to on the internet. I might listen to a song. I'm not going to listen to a whole album. So the Princeton Record Exchange is pretty good for just buying used vinyl and listening to a pretty good shape, good condition, listening, not mint, but decent, listening to a full album that you might not otherwise listen to. Anyway, but he would go there with like hipster-esque guys, and they're all married now, either to Fats or Browns. But like you said, you're one of us. You see these guys you think are one of us, but I guess they're successful oofy doofies. And MEBANKS, really, you shouldn't be following these people around the grocery store. If you saw them once, you shouldn't be seeing them a second time. Obviously, if you see them a second time, you're following them. I'm scratching my fire ant bites. They're partly painful, partly itchy. Christ. Okay. Anyway, I'm kidding about it's actually a funny tie-in, like, that nigger bitch, that fucking Shiboon going nuts on me. I only saw her fucking twice, but twice was enough. How dare I look at her? How dare we cross paths a second time? Like you've never crossed paths with someone multiple times in a grocery store. Christ. So it's not me. I didn't do anything wrong. Like MEBANKS is saying, it's perfectly normal to cross paths with people in a grocery store multiple times. But when you're a fucking spurg, hey, you stick out to the crazies. How dare I cross her path more than once? Anyway. You watched that video? Hold on, let's see here. Filming that poor spaz. You do these videos just so someone gets an altercation. It's like these trolls aren't even very good anymore. Filming kids. Hey, it's the future generation, man. I can't see the replies to him. Can't stop. I don't dox anyone, by the way. I don't dox anybody. I ask you where you're from. I don't ask you your address. I ask you what line of work you're in. I don't ask you who your employer is. I don't ask names, but I expect you can say, yeah, I'm this age, this race. I live here, this state, whatever. That's not doxing. And, I've told you many times, I live in New Jersey. I'm 43 years old. I'm clearly a white guy. I put my fucking face there. So if I can show myself, you can at least answer basic questions. And now, where's your comment, Cassandra? You had a comment? Newest, hold on. Oh, here we go. So you forced yourself to watch this. You probably just like quickly skim through it like Dumb does. I don't get delivery often, but I've never heard a delivery person say, nice to meet you. Kind of think it's nice, to be honest. Why, thank you, Cassandra. You're making me blush here. He was a nice guy. I didn't get any hostility. The app, usually these apps will say, leave it by the door or wherever, take a photo and leave. This one said, can you please knock? So I said, fine, let me knock. And the guy, I knocked. I was going to walk away. If he didn't answer, oh, well. He came up pretty quickly, so I'm like, oh, yeah. I was always trained to be polite. People say I'm an asshole. I can be an asshole when I feel provoked, or if I really like somebody and I think we're I'm ribbing on them for fun and jokes. But I was always I was taught to be nice and polite. So I'll say, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. I believe in kindness, or at least manners. So when the guy opened the door right away, I'm like, oh, hey, nice to meet you, man. Oh, you forgot to hit enter on your comment, but okay. So Cassandra wants her comment is, you don't get delivery often, but you've never heard a delivery person say, nice to meet you. Kind of think it's nice, to be honest. Well, I'm glad you think I'm nice. See, guys, the one girl here says I'm a nice guy. So anyone who says I'm an asshole is clearly off base, because the girl says I'm nice, therefore I'm a nice guy. So anyone watching who thinks I might be an asshole. Okay, well, tell you what, Cassandra. You say you want it. You don't have to add things. You don't have to comment just for the sake of commenting. But if there's anything else you want to say about this video or whatever, you can say it right here in chat. I'll bring it up. So you wanted to add more, but time pressure since you started streaming. What else would you like to say about whatever? You can share it here. Well, you can take a moment, put some words to your thoughts. Yeah, and usually, like I said, Palmer Square or anywhere else that has a concentration of restaurants, the app might say go there to pick up at one of these many restaurants. It almost never says pick up somewhere else and deliver there, because people who live there don't usually use these apps, especially on a weekend night in summer. That's why I think I recorded that. I'm like, wow, I'm not going to Palmer Square to pick up. I'm going to Palmer Square to deliver on a Friday night in August. That's weird. It is. I went to Normie, and that's why I saw, maybe, like I said, maybe the guy had a girlfriend. Maybe he was gaming and couldn't be bothered getting something to eat. Maybe he was gay. I don't know. What I'm saying is I saw an affinity with him because here you are in Normie Central. I'm at a place in Normie Central, and this dude ordering from a faraway restaurant on a Friday night in August. It's like when he lives in Palmer Square. It's like there was I saw a kindred. Maybe I'm wrong, but I saw Okay, well, you want to say more? By all means. What else would you like to say? Well, take your time. Think about it. No, I think Cassandra's an honest person. She's not attracted to me at all, but she says, "OC, even though you're an ugly fuck, I can differentiate between, being good-looking versus ugly, and being a nice person being an asshole." Like Cassandra knows there are good-looking nice people and good-looking assholes. There are ugly nice people like yours truly and ugly assholes. Cassandra can filter out, and she, so many normies think good looks means good person, ugly looks means bad person. Cassandra knows that looks and personality aren't necessarily intertwined. Good-looking people can be nice, but they can also be assholes. Ugly fucks can be nice, even though we don't get a chance. But we can also, some of us are assholes, but I'm not one of them. A lot of people think I'm an asshole because I'm ugly or spurred or whatever. So Cassandra at least has the ability to make that distinction that looks and personality and behavior and intent don't coincide. Yes. It was a waste of time. You don't really get much for them, and a lot of wear and tear in a car. But it's nice not having a boss, and I like being my own car. I think I'm one of those lovey-dovey assholes, Toolie. Give me an example of a time when I was an asshole. Go ahead. Give me an example. When I made some joke you didn't like or what? No, okay. I'm open to criticism. I'm dead serious. Go ahead. I'll listen. Maybe you're right. Go ahead. Well, Ice, you got to remember something. Like I always quote that song, "No more Mr. Nice Guy. I used to be such a sweet, sweet thing till they got a hold of me." Because good-looking people are treated with reverence, most of them have no need to be pissy or mean. Because ugly fucks get treated like shit, even the nicest of us at some point will snap and say, "Well, fuck this. If I'm going to be treated like shit just because of how I look, then fuck it. Fuck you. I really don't get treated." So it makes sense. It's wrong to think looks and behavior are genetic. I don't believe they're genetically linked, but I think nature versus nurture. If you're an ugly fuck and you get treated like shit over and over and over again, at some point you're going to say, well, why? It's not even about rebelling. It's how can I be such a nice guy if I'm going to be treated like shit? I don't have it in me anymore. Fuck it. I'm anticipating I'm going to get treated like crap again. So I can understand why ugly fucks eventually lose hope and say, fuck it. And I can understand why the good-looking guy who gets treated like, what was that? Some movie, some ugly dude was dating a really pretty girl. It's a Hollywood movie. And like at some point he gets insecure and he says, he goes to the girl, "You probably think everyone's always nice to everybody and people always get free shit wherever they go because that's your experience." And, even though it was a Hollywood movie, where the Stacy was dating some ugly dude, there's that sense of, okay, well, if you're really good looking, your experience is different, which shapes how your, I don't want to say personality, but how your attitude, how your outlook is. Well, everyone's nice. What's the big deal? Yeah, because you're good looking. If you're an ugly fuck, at some point it's like, well, I tried being nice for the sake of, not to finish, just for the sake of being nice. And after being treated like shit over and over and over again, it's just, I don't have the energy anymore. So yeah, I believe your studies, but not because ugly people are more inclined to be biologically nasty or because good-looking people are biologically inclined to be nicer. It's based upon treatment. I agree. I've always said I'm abrasive. I've never denied. I haven't said it. I'm abrasive, but I'm not malicious. It's about working out intent. I've always said that. I can be abrasive. I will admit that. I can be abrasive, but my intent, even in my abrasiveness, is not to be malicious. I don't know, man. I think if you're an ugly sociopath, you're going to jail or the electric chair. If you're a good-looking sociopath, you can become the CEO of the company because you're good-looking. No, and of course, not everyone's a sociopath. There are good-looking sociopaths and ugly sociopaths. No, I think it's not based upon gene expression. I don't believe that. I believe, because I've met people who are really tall and smart, also tall and stupid. I've met manlets who are smart and manlets who are idiots. But I've noticed tall people, whether smart or stupid, so it's not like let's promote the smart ones and not promote the stupid ones. It's more let's promote the smart ones. And so you've got some smart tall people and some smart tall people and some idiot tall people, but they all get to be managers. And the little guys, whether stupid or smart, so no, I don't believe I think it's an equation. There's always that equation. So yeah, there are good-looking people who are good people. There are ugly-looking people who are good people. There are good-looking people who are nasty assholes, and there are, what was the other one? Whatever the ugly-looking people who are, the point is, there are different equations. No, I don't believe that. I really don't believe it because I've seen it with the tall. Like I remember, so when I worked at those grocery stores, all the managers were like 6'2" to 6'4", and some were pretty good. Others were fucking retards. And it seemed like, wow, why are all the managers 6'4" when some are actually smart and capable on the ball and others are not? Being tall didn't guarantee they were smart, but being tall guaranteed they'd get promoted. So I don't blame the smart manlet who's bitter that he didn't get the job. No. No, I think that's not true. Cite me these studies because I don't believe you. Go ahead, cite me these studies. That reminds me of statistics. Yes, statistics they show 80% of statistics are bullshit. It sounds like one of these. Okay, show me these studies, man. I don't believe that. I've met tall people who are smart, tall people who are stupid, short people smart, short people stupid. I've met good-looking manlets, good-looking tall fags, ugly tall fags who get a girlfriend that they everything. It's like different equations. Absolutely. Like that's another thing with serial killers. How many people say he was my neighbor? I had no idea. He seemed like a totally normal guy. You hear this all the time. When someone gets arrested for a crime, he looked like a normal guy. He acted like a normal guy. I had no idea. He looked like this. No, I don't buy it. Yeah, Ice, what country are you from? How old are you and what country are you from? How old are you and what country are you from? No, because I've met a lot of good-looking people are either assholes or they're naive. They don't realize there's another side of life. They assume their treatment is universal. So no, I don't buy into that. But no, you can provide them. You want it. The onus is on you. How old are you? What country you're from? And the onus is on you. Provide me some studies. You claim they exist. Prove them. So we know he's not an American, but why don't you answer the question? Great. You're from a country with a higher IQ. What country is it? What country you're from? How old are you? And you cite me some of these studies you allege exist. You might be right, but it's the onus is on you, Mr. Genius. Yeah, it sounds like eugenics or phrenology. Yeah. Physiognomy. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Cassandra, well said. Okay. I'm open to criticism. Now prove me wrong. Show me these studies. Also, how old are you and what country you're from? Age, country, and show me some studies. I remember teachers used to say, you need to show, not tell. If you're writing an essay, you can't just declare something. You can't just tell us something. You've got to show us, cite your sources. So you need to cite some sources. You need to show, not just tell. I'm not coping. You might be right. I'm saying the onus is now on you. You might be right. I'm open to changing my mind, but you can't just declare something. Yes. You're just coping now, Ice. Come on. How old are you? What country you're from? And give me some of these studies. I'm not Googling. You prove it. You're the one who's mentioning it. You're saying that good-looking people are naturally good people because their looks correlate to their behavior, and ugly fucks are nasty, not because they've been treated like shit all their life, but because they're just naturally genetically inclined to be assholes. Okay, give me a couple sources. Go ahead, go for it. Because I don't believe you. I've never understood the whole nature versus nurture, because I think both are true. I think nature and genetics are a big part of who we are, but nurture is also part of it. If I have a clone who was a billionaire living in privilege, and another clone who grew up in some like war-torn country, even though the three of us are biologically identical, we might manifest differently based on our experience. Like my experience in a fucked up home, this guy's experience in a fucking war-torn country where he can be shot dead any day. This guy's experience where he's like a billionaire, heir to a fortune. Even though we're all biologically and genetically the same, I do believe nurture plays a big part in who we are. And likewise, if you're an ugly fuck and you're treated like shit, it's going to shape how you interact with people. And if you're a good-looking person and people are relatively nice to you, and you don't have these kind of problems on a regular basis, yeah, it'll shape your outlook for sure. Not because your genetics make you a better person. Genetics make you better looking, which in turn gives you a better environmental experience. No, I'm not going to use Google or AI. You're going to do it. Bring the study. Provide a link. Go ahead. It's on you. Yeah, bro. Just chat. I'm like... No, you're telling me that your opinion is fact. Okay, maybe it is. Prove it. The onus is not on me. You're telling me that good-looking people are genetically nicer people. Okay, ugly fucks are genetically, regardless of experience, we're just assholes because, just because, not because of our life treatment or experiences. Okay, prove it. You might be right, but it's up to you to prove, not me. Mm-hmm. Well, okay. So you're saying that by being ugly, I'm also going to be a nasty fuck just because there was never any hope for me. Okay. Then give me my neat bucks. I mean, give me these studies, man. It's up to you. You give me the studies. You know about them, and you're the one bringing them to the conversation. The onus is on you, Ice. Exactly, Cassandra. Burden of proof is on Ice. Absolutely, 1,000%. Agreed. Those that make claims are burdened to provide proof. Yes. Yes, you told us there have been studies. Now please provide them. That's on you. Name one study. Come on. I call bullocks as well. No, I never say anything about studies either way. You mentioned studies, so provide those studies. I don't have to provide you a counter study. You got to provide me the study, man. I don't like this ignorance, this stupidity. Are good-looking people like you also morons? Because Christ all fucking mighty, this is just stupid. I know it's trolling, but it's like idiocy. I want to see my chest, my breasts. Maybe I'll get monetized. What, doggo? I thought you'd be happy. What's this Christ? Christ was one of your people. You Jew. No. Oh, I was talking earlier. You weren't here. Toolie and Cassandra want to fund my airplane ticket for me to fly to Los Angeles and see you and Endymion. And there was someone else. I forget who it was. There were 3 Los Angelinos. And then I'll drive across Arizona. I'll see Cassandra and Seymour. I'll see Toolie. Then I'll go off to Abilene and see Horsehead, and Dallas, Fort Worth, and see Penny Pounder, and then fly back to Newark. So, we're talking about the GoFundMe for the plane ticket and the rent-a-car, so I can visit you and Cassandra and Seymour and Toolie and Endymion and Penny Pounder and Horsehead. I don't believe you. I'm calling you a liar. Prove me wrong. You're a liar. Maybe I'm wrong. It's up to you to prove you're not lying to me. No, you go fuck yourself. It's up to you to prove you're telling me the truth. I won't deny. I'll actually look at anything you give me. But you don't give me anything. You're just telling me your opinion. So, the difference, I give my opinion, you give yours. You say, my opinion's right because there are studies. Okay, show them to me. Well, I shouldn't have to. You can Google them because they don't exist, do they? They don't exist. You show me these studies. You claim your opinion is fact because of studies, then the burden is on you. The burden of proof, the onus is on you, ICE, to show me these studies, you fucking moron. No, I am. I shared my opinion. You shared yours. You say your opinion is fact because of studies, and then you don't want to, which you say are very easy to find, but you can't take the time to show me, even though you're claiming they exist. I don't want, because if I pull up a study, you might say, that's not the right study. You found the wrong one. No, you show me the studies you want me to see, asshole. You assure me of a lot of things. All right, I'm going to take a piss and get another iced tea. I'll go on another. All right, I'm back. No, I'm not going to pull anything up. You can pull it up and share it here. Tell me where to go. You can pull it up. You claim these studies exist to back up your opinion, then you share them. You pull them up. Since they're so easy, go ahead. I'm like you said, because I'm ugly, I'm stupid and nasty, so you can't expect me to do it. Like the studies tell you, you shouldn't be shocked by my behavior. ICE, you should not be shocked by my behavior. That's another thing. If you believe what you're saying, that me being ugly and just whatever, if that makes me a nasty person because there's a genetic correlation, then you of all people shouldn't be shocked. Instead of calling me lazy, you should say, OC, because you're an ugly fuck, I know you're lazy because there's that genetic correlation between ugly looks and nastiness and laziness. So I understand. Here, let me provide you with the study. So you're kind of disproving your own opinion by not, pulling up a study for me because according to you, you shouldn't be shocked by my behavior because it's all, genetic. I'm dead serious. Let's say you're right. I'm going to say you're right. I swallow. Ugly people aren't assholes because they're treated like shit. And good-looking people aren't nice because people are nice to them and they have a different experience. No, it's all genetically correlated. Okay, then if that's true, you shouldn't be shocked at all by my behavior, and you should be providing me these studies telling me why I am the way I am. You shouldn't be shocked at all by my behavior, ICE. Come on. Come on, you can't even defend your own goddamn opinion. Is this the real dumb? We get a lot of clones going around, as we know. Oh, let me pull up those pictures again. Hold on. Hold on, where is it? There we go. Well, I got a lot of flack. Your buddy, Destroyed by Foyd, said I was being crass and disgusting, and I'll never get monetized by showing sexual things. But I said, but maybe if it gets dumb to come back, it's worth it. It's worth it. All right. I want to show you what I looked like 30 years ago. One more time. What the hell? What the hell is it? Hold on. Share screen. That's me and my brother and my father 30 years ago. That was 30. It's amazing how decades fly by. That was 30 years ago. And I want to share it for anyone who's no longer part of the group, either because they weren't invited or because they voluntarily left the group. James. That's us 30 years ago. And it's amazing. It doesn't seem that long ago. That's 30 years ago. I'm going to show you a picture of 40 years ago. You want to see the picture of me 40 years ago? I'll show it to you in a minute. That's 30 years ago. Yeah, I'm trying to do that. Where'd Ice go? Ice disappeared. Based on his own argument, he shouldn't be shocked by my behavior. He told me it's a fact that I'm going to act this way anyway, so he shouldn't be shocked. So he should be pulling this shit up for me. Yep, I put the little black box over. Even though he was, a 10-year-old kid, I said, fine, I'll put a box on it. But that was about 30 years ago. Some pier, Atlantic Ocean. You know how it is. Now, let me show you 40 years ago. Let's go back another decade. And I should do 2025 now, 2015, 2005. This is 1995. Let me show you 1985. I cannot show you 1975. I was not alive in 1975. Maybe Donda can show us 1975, but I can't. But this is 1995. Let's go back in time to 1985. Who wants to see 1985? Who wants to see me in 1985? I'll bring it up. Why not? There we go. How do I zoom in? There we go. There we go. That's me 40 years ago. You saw me 30 years ago on a pier. Here I am 40 fucking years ago with a Viewmaster. Click, 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 click. Can you tell that's me? Does that look like me? Some people said they couldn't see resemblance at all. There you go. Can we see? Do you think does that look like me, 40, a little 3-year-old boy? Does that look like me or no? Is that me or not? Should I put the bangs in my face? Because some people who are like, that's not you. There's no way that's you. That looks nothing like you, OC. As far as I know, that's me, but maybe it's not. Maybe I'm not who I think I am. Okay, so you think it's me too. Okay. Oh, we're talking about lookism. Toolie was like, no way, man. That's not you. I don't see the resemblance at all. Yeah, at that age, my mother dressed me, and my mother probably combed my hair. She probably thought that, who knows? But yeah, so it's like, yeah. Oh, so even without the bangs, you can tell it's me. Okay. Like I said, my face was never symmetrical. I think with each passing year, it gets less and less symmetrical, keeps diverging, like that continental split or continental drift. Yeah. But Toolie doesn't see it. He says, that's not you. Maybe he's right. Maybe it's just some random picture I found on the internet. That's just some random internet picture of some boy, but that's not me. Oh, okay. So is this a male-female thing? We got to take the girl's advice. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm Pretty sure it's me because it's the photo in the photo album. So I'm assuming it's me if I am who my parents tell me I am. I mean, I don't remember this photo. I don't remember sitting there with my Viewmaster on the the stoop, but but I'm pretty sure it's me. You're right. Maybe just some AI photo I created. I said, I don't want to use a photo of myself, so let's just make a photo of me now. You think I look like 40 years ago when I was fucking 3 years old. Yes, it's AI slop. I don't know. AI is still too crisp. That's the problem with AI. It doesn't get the eyes right, number one. And number two, it really can't create, it doesn't do a very good job. Things look very crisp, too clean. It really can't recreate a photo. It'll get there eventually, but right now AI can't really recreate a scanned photograph from a film camera from fucking 1985. It's still not that good yet, in my my experience. At least not the free ones. So there, I shared two photos. One of me 40 years ago, and one of me, where is it? 30 years ago. There we go. Where the hell is it? 30 years ago. There we go. And we're devoting the stream to the late, great Opha Jacob Johnson, who was, at the age of damn near 40, the first Marine. Here's a better photo of her. Let's bring this one up. There we go. There we go. Yeah, she died August 11th, 1955, 70 years ago, 2 days ago. But on this day in 1918, when she was 39 going on 40, 107 years ago, she became the first woman to become a Marine, technically. She never served. It was the latter days of World War I, the Great War. But she was the first woman to be listed or registered as a Marine, a Marinette. Basically, she acted like a secretary, but she was the first female Marine on paper in 1918. And that was 107 years ago today. And 70 years ago, 2 days back, she died at the age of 77, I think she was. Okay. Let's drink to Opha Johnson. We celebrate women on the OC channel. Women are great. Let us simp for them. What would the world be without women? Guys, if women treat you like shit, you deserved it. Statistics, they show the genetic component in the studies that, trust me, bro, ICE told us, they show you deserved it. If you're ugly, you're born to be a miserable fuck. Not because of the way you're treated, but because, you're genetically predisposed. So says ICE. So then you shouldn't be shocked at how this ugly fuck Spurg is acting. Let's drink to Opha Johnson. Her maiden name was Jacob. She was the first Marinette. She's been dead for 70 years. And 107 years ago, she became the first woman to become a Marinette. Let's drink and raise a glass and a toast to Opha Johnson. Exactly, Toolie. You asked me why I named the stream after her because, hey, someone's got to remember the late great Opha. I could tell you what song I'm parodying, but why bother? You don't have to add it. You've missed a lot of my songs I've been singing lately, so don't worry about it. Add songs when you feel. Don't worry about what song that was. And yeah, you told me earlier in Dumb Stream that you were making a steak. You were frying it up in the frying pan. You're having a steak. Is it T-bone or a porterhouse? Why aren't you drinking a beer, Toolie? Come on. Let's drink to Opha May Johnson. Say a prayer and remember her service. You have. I'm like, I sang a couple songs here she was here for, and she didn't add them. Yeah, you've missed some songs. Don't go back and try to find them. Don't go nuts. But yeah, you missed a few. I'm like, I sang a song or two, and she was here. So don't worry about. Let's drink up to Opha May Johnson. Doodle-doodle-doo. Say a prayer for the salt of the earth. Doodle-doodle-doo. She was the first Marinette in 1918, 107 years ago. And 70 years ago, she died at the age of 77. Opha May Jacob Johnson. Doodle-doodle-doo. Fine, whatever. The point is you had a nice steak. You should be drinking a beer, man. Let's drink to Opha May Johnson. Opha May, where are you today? Tell us, Opha May, where are you when we need you? Opha May, blah, 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 blah. Where would we be in life without Opha May Johnson? Look at her. My God, she was hot. 40-year-old. Wait, I shared the wrong screen, I think. 40-year-old Marinette. Let's see. Opha May Johnson, because she's so great. Do. Say a prayer. Why do I keep... Wait, hold on. This is hard. The thing, it's not... Hold on. Give me a minute. It keeps... The thing is moving. Hold on. Where is it? I think I got it. I don't like when they change StreamYard around, but there we go. Say a prayer and praise Opha May Johnson, the first Marinette when she was 40 years young. Doodle-doodle-doo. Everyone drink a toast to Opha May Johnson. There she is. There she is. The lovely Opha May Johnson. How's that? Broken clock. Alpha Male Johnson. Broken clock. Yeah, I agree. Say a prayer to Alpha Male Johnson. Yeah. Exactly. That's another thing. Toolie is a meat guy. He works in a grocery store preparing meat. I thought he'd be like, I don't know. He'd be describing the best Chianti to have with the, his porterhouse. This turned out to be one of my better streams. This is what I miss, the small, intimate coffee house. Like I said, I've had people say, oh, see, you've got 30 people watching. You can't end now. But I'm like, I'm tired of this. Sometimes less is more. I really like having like a handful of people, 4 or 5 people who want to be here. So I thank you all for coming in. I thank you for sharing, you were with me when I shared my photos of 30 years ago and 40 years ago. And of course, let's not forget Opha May Johnson. Say a prayer for Opha May Johnson. Anyway, I was going to say, like I said with ice, this is where trolls get tripped up. The onus is on you to prove. You say there are studies and they're easy to find. Okay, then shouldn't be any skin off your back to prove it. But also, you shouldn't be surprised by how I'm acting, because if you're telling the truth and you know that me being ugly and weird and a spurg is all going to be intertwined, then you shouldn't be shocked at my behavior based upon what you're trying to argue. So it's just like when people make a statement but can't back it up, it's like, why are you shocked, man? Like you said, I'm an ugly fuck. Of course I'm going to be an asshole. You shouldn't be shocked. Your statistics tell you that. So don't be shocked at my behavior. You just don't want, you're too lazy. You don't look it up. Well, yeah, why would I? Like you said, I'm an ugly fuck, and, so it's tied in with my genetics. It's like they're trying to prove a point that they don't believe themselves. Amazing. But Opha May Johnson, this bitch, the first Marine at the age of 40 during World War I, or the Great War. Yes. Less is James Moore. Well, in the Southwest, in Arizona right now, it's like 2:45. I'm sorry, 10:45. You're 3 hours. Well, yeah, it's 10:45. That's not super duper late. You act like it's fucking like, for me, it's 1:45. For you guys, it's 10, right? 10:45. So it's not that late for you guys. Yeah, like I said, nature and nurture. You can be the nicest person in the world, but if you're getting treated like shit because of how you look, you're eventually going to say, well, fuck this. Likewise, if people treat you like a god because you're good looking, of course you're going to have a bias and think everyone's wonderful. Everyone's so nice. Of course. Nothing to do with genetics. That's where nurture comes in. He does. That I agree with. Dumb does look rough. For better or for worse. Well, that's why I was attracted to him. I like that. I like a rugged nature in a man. Well, no, he wasn't saying how you look defines who you are. He was saying your genetics control both. Your genetics make you look a certain way, and your genetics are 100% responsible for how you manifest. And I was saying, well, no, your genetics control how you look. How you manifest, it's partly genetic, but partly based on how you're treated. Like I always said, the clone of me in a war zone and the clone of me who was like a billionaire, the three of us genetically are the same, but we're going to act slightly differently. Like this guy's probably going to be like, constantly worried about getting shot through the window. And this guy is going to think, oh, peasants, because our experiences were different. Don't ever think that nurture and experience have nothing to do with how we turn out. That's bullshit. And if you want to argue otherwise, give me a report. And if you believe that, then you shouldn't be shocked at my behavior, Ice. Oh, you mean it's late as in you guys are still awake but not at work. Okay, I got you now. Okay. I thought you meant late as in time to go to bed. Well, this asshole, he's an early bird. He just got up. Oh, like I said, the serial killer was caught. He was a family man. All his neighbors, we had no idea. He looked like a normal guy. And you can call those outliers, but there's no way to determine. Yeah, if you see an ugly fuck who's old, he might be bitter because of the way he's been treated. So it's safe to assume he might be a little angry. If you see a really good-looking person, they might be nice because they've had nothing but good treatment all their life. So you can infer that, but to say it's purely genetic, no. It's based on experience. You disagree, well, you shouldn't be shocked that I disagree with you based on my, your beliefs. But yeah. All right, what else do we have to discuss? Is that the bulk of it? We've talked about Opha May Johnson. We've seen photos of me when I was a teenager, photos of me when I was a little boy with my Viewmaster. Toolie says neither look like me. Cassandra says both definitely look like me. No one else really said much of anything, but okay. Yeah, I wasn't going to, but I said, what the fuck? Let me do it. And I still got some tea. So should I end it now or should I go on for another like 10, 15 minutes? What do you want? If you want, I'll get it off. If not, because I'm going to drink this tea no matter what. I'm not going to bed until I finish this. I might have one more tea. But I can have one more tea off camera. I don't want to kill this until I finish my drink. Oh, you're lucky. Maybe I should kill it now. Maybe it's a good place to end it. Why did ice disappear? All I had to do was easily Google these studies, which he knows I'm not going to Google them because, like, he knows I'm too ugly and genetically I can't be bothered. So he shouldn't be shocked. Where'd he go? Okay, the two females say that they both look like me. Okay, let's take a look here. Yeah, I'm getting tired. I'll ring up one more time. Why not? I mean, I don't know if you can tell, but that's me, to the right in the Nirvana. It's Incesticide, Nirvana shirt. I was a Nirvana fan as a teenager. This was like a year or so. This was only like a year after he killed himself, Kurt Cobain. And that's my brother. The shirt is for his graduating class. And that's my father. And that's us, Can you tell that's me? Or is it totally like, no way that's you, OC. That's me 30 years ago. Oh, what are you saying? You're saying that as a fucking 3-year-old, I was more like I am now than I was as a teenager. Plus, in this photo, I'm right next to my father, and he and I did not have a good relationship, so I might be more stiff here. Here, let me show you. Let me go back to. Well, no, my father wasn't an incel. He managed to sire me and my mother. I'm sorry, me and my brother and my sister with my mother. The point is, this man had 3 kids. Unless my mother had an affair, which, God, trust me, I would love that. I would love to take a DNA test and be told that this man is not my biological father. Do you see resemblance? Do you think this guy looks like me and or Brother Click, or do you think my mother had an affair? I would love to have been adopted secretly, or I would have loved to have been like, my mother product. So many people, they get the DNA ancestry test. They find out that daddy isn't really their daddy, and they're devastated. I would love for this man not to be my father, to have been adopted, or to my mother to have had an affair. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you see a resemblance between me and this man? Do you see a resemblance between Brother Click and this man? I mean, you tell me, because I don't know. What do I know? I would love to have been adopted, or at least a product of a love child born out of wedlock. But no, my father's not an incel. My mother, to this day, he's a fucking stroke victim retard. She still fucking worships him. So no, I as much as I actually, so many people, they want to believe mommy and daddy are who they say they are. They can't handle the fact that mommy had an affair or they were adopted. Me, on the opposite. I wish this man was my father, but I got to be realistic. This is the man who fucked my mother at least 3 times and had 3 fucking kids. Because, yeah, this is my father, who I believe is my biological father, and I believe, sired me with my mother, who took this photo, in case you're wondering. My mother was behind the camera. My little sister she didn't come on the deck with us or whatever. I mean, I'd love to be adopted. I wish this man was my father, but I can't live in denial land. So yes. So no, my father's not an incel. He snagged my mother, and she seems to think he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. So yeah. Dear old dad, in 20 years, do I start talking like that? Dear old dad. Oh, hey. Maybe when he's dead and buried, I'll think back. Oh, dear old dad. Yeah, I wouldn't call him that now, but okay. Oh, you can tell it's our biological father. Yeah. A vibe. Well, enlighten me, man. Break the time, space-time continuum. Come on. It's hard to say. Growing up, I definitely hated my father more. Now it's hard to say because my father's a fucking basically. I still hate my father. He's a fucking retard. I'm amazed at my mother's behavior and response, but I guess I shouldn't be shocked. It's hard. I believe I just see them as two heads of the same serpent. I blame my father's the brains, and now he's a retard. My father's the brains. My mother's like the mindless. Yeah, they're basically the same entity as far as I'm concerned. That spawned life to me. But anyway, let's get back to the other photo. That was 30 years ago. We're in 2025. That was in 1995. Let's see 1985 OC. Where is it? Here it is. There we go. That's me with my Viewmaster and yeah, on the stoop. She was more affectionate than my father, but not that affectionate. She's one of those people who likes to believe she's lovey-dovey and religious and a good person. That's her cope. That's her coping mechanism. It's like good cop, bad cop with my parents. All right, give me a sec. Let me find a link. Yeah, we were talking. They might still be a thing. I don't know. I don't have kids. Yeah. There we go. Come with me if you want to live. There isn't much time. Come with me if you want to live. Go ahead. There's the link. Come on. I want to see me in 60 years. Come on. Come on, buddy. Come on, future me. If you're really me and you remember how we thought in our 40s, you shouldn't be shocked by my behavior. 60s me. Oh, I should have grown a beard as a little boy. Maybe I should shave all this off and I'll pull these pictures back up and you can see me, you know. It's interesting. The men are like, all the dudes are like, hard to tell if it's you. The two women, Cassandra and Donda, are like, oh, that's definitely you. I see you as a boy. I see you as a teenager. I see your father, the resemblance. It's amazing how maybe it is something about men versus women. The women are like, oh, that's definitely you, OC. The guys are like, is that AI? I can't really tell. Fascinating. Really is a fascinating study. Wow. I can come on, drop the link, but time is short. The cyber soldiers are coming. Okay, here's the link. Come on before the cyber soldiers get you. All right, I'll listen to you, but come on. I'll start listening once you come on. And I see your fucking face. I want to see me at the age of 63. Come on. Yeah, I didn't realize. Yeah, because now I'd love to see. I would love. I know I'm asking a lot. I would love for Toolie to come on and show me a photo of him when he was 3 years old, or Dumb, and I'll see if I can see the resemblance or not. I mean, I know this is me because I pulled it out of the photo album, so I know it's me. But yeah, I'd love to see if I could judge other men. Could I tell Toolie now versus, little boy Toolie, or Dumb versus little boy Dumb, or Totem versus little boy Totem? I don't know. I know this is me because I scanned it and uploaded it. You're right. It's interesting. The women, you and Donda, or Cassandra, you and Donda are both like, oh, that's definitely you. And the men are like, huh. I believe them. They're being sincere. Is that really kind of a... Oh, well, Seymour agrees. Well, he has to agree because you told him it's me. Interesting. If this is true, for a minute, Endymion thought it was his childhood photo. I guess men really can't tell. It just looks like a little white boy. Little white boy with brown hair on the stoop. It could be anybody. Yeah, that's me 40 years ago. Hey, how come Future Me didn't come on? He said, I can come on, drop the link. There it is. Where's Future Me? He's not coming up. Come on. I want to see both. I want you to come on my stream, Totem. Show me your face now. And you can, when guests come on, they can upload a photo and I'll share screen and we'll share a photo of you when you were a little boy and you now in your 30s. So let's do it. Let's do it. I dropped the link. I dropped. Here, I'll drop it again. I dropped the link. Yes. But why did you shave your head? Because you were balding, you were Norwooding, so you figured might as well shave it. I mean, I still have hair. That's the thing. I still have a head of hair, so I thought it'd be easier to tell it was me, but okay. Baby totem. So whether you shaved your hair or not, they probably wouldn't recognize you because even if you have like hair on the side, you're still gonna have like that bald pate. So yeah, I mean, well, I want to see you now and you as a boy, and I want to see if I can say, that's definitely you, or I don't see it. Ditto with dumb. Where'd dumb go? Donda, where the fuck is dumb? Don't tell me he's at the post office or doing something with shingles. I don't want to hear it. I really don't want to hear it. We're getting to that point where it's like, y'all. And where's future me who said he'd come on? And do you like my gut and my tits and my hair and my chest? Em and I sexy? Em and I sexy? Wow. Like Kyle Brovsky in South Park. You're a redheaded Jew. Interesting. Well, he was here a moment ago. He walked away to tinker when I'm on. Friendship, Donda. Friendship. I actually been thinking about shaving because it's summertime. And I'm thinking, maybe I should just shave this down. Should I buzz it all off? Should I keep like a stash goatee? Just keep a goatee? A cookie duster? I mean, what do you guys think? Give me your advice. Because I'm thinking about shaving. Maybe I should just buzz this off tonight. Do I shave down to this? Or do I shave down to this? Or should I shave it all off? Should I say fuck it and shave it all off? And you can see my beautiful jawline. Oh, well, contact your mother. Have someone help her scan them, and just a couple, 2 or 3. And if your mother's dead, wherever the photo albums ended up, you must have them somewhere. Your sister, whoever has them, your aunt, whoever has them. But here's me 40 years ago. This is before Cassandra was born, Toolie was born. Donda would have been like 10 years old. Donda would have been like a big kid to me. Donda would have been about 10. Dumb would have been like, is he a year? I'm 3. He's like 4 or 5. Dumb would have been a little boy, but a few years older. Donda would have been about 10 years old. Doggo, you'd have been a newborn baby like my brother. And Totem and Cassandra and Toolie wouldn't have existed yet. Yes, this was 40 years ago. How about that? Don't the decades just fly the fuck by? Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, I mean, not yet. Well, Dumb likes my hair. I keep my hair like this for Dumb. The one thing the one thing Dumb says that's positive. He's always like Chad hair. So that makes me feel flattered. Makes me feel tickled pink. Makes me feel that special feeling down under. And I think, well, if I got this Chad hair and Dumb loves it, I don't want to shave it because Dumb's gonna love my hair. Keep a little beard. What's a little beard? You want me to just trim this out? I could easily buzz this down. It'll grow back within a week or so. It'll be a little beard within a week. So I don't really need those sculpting tools. If I shave this down to nothing, within a week, I'll have like full-blown stubble, and within 2 weeks, I'll have a beard again. So I don't need to, I can shave it all off, and like a week later, I'll have a little beard. But I'm saying, should I keep the goatee? Should I keep the stash part? Or keep just the goatee, keep nothing, get rid of all of it, The hair on my head or the hair on my chinny chin chin? I know he does. That's why I keep him for him. Because I still love him, despite, he thinks I'm being an asshole. I still love the guy. I'm an asshole because I feel hurt. But if I didn't feel something special for him, I wouldn't be this worked up over him in the first place, Donda. That should show you something. He might not get it, but you should get it. Why, he means more to me than just some asshole, Yes. Well, Cassandra's the one who, because all you people say, Cassandra wants you. I don't believe that, but okay, you're all telling me I should listen to Cassandra. All right, I'll keep it this way. Well, actually, I'm getting tired. The sideburns seem too long. I could probably buzz those down. The sideburns seem a little too long. See that? I want to buzz those down. And this I'll keep for now, but I'll probably eventually, when it gets a little too long, I'll cut it back. Dumb is so smart. Yes, Toolie. Yes, he is. Totem took financial advice from Dumb. Good job. Hey, the guy got a windfall. He sold his house in Zillinger. I was in that very house a week or two before he sold it. And wow, he got a pretty good deal. Yes. From now on, Donda, I'm going to call him that. Mummy Dumb. Mummy Dumb. But no, he's an American, even though he's in Australia. He's an American. I'm an American. I'm going to call him Mommy Dumb. None of this mummy bullshit. We're Americans. I don't care if James is down under. He's still from fucking Pennsylvania. I'm from New Jersey. I'm going to say, Mommy Dumb. Mommy. Well, that's what I was saying. He must have made a profit. Sounds like he had a better realtor. I know there's some snafus, but if he made the 180 grand, I mean, that's decent. So I'm glad he did better than he did the last time. Remember, because he shared this with us, when he tried to sell it and move to South Dakota. I'm glad that fell through because that was a crummy deal, and I couldn't imagine Dumb in fucking South Dakota. No matter you can go on vacation or holiday. But if Dumb, he's with you in Australia now, that's great. I couldn't imagine Dumb in Arizona or South Dakota. Dude was a Pennsylvanian through and through, near to Maryland. I mean, and now he's in Australia. But yeah, I'm glad that fell through. I'm glad he stuck around and continued streaming. I'm actually secretly glad. He showed me the realtrix, the realtor girl, the realtrix on the menu at the diner. And I'm glad that deal fell through. I'm glad he stuck around a bit. Well, Cassandra, hair keeps growing. I mean, another week or two, it's going to be longer. So you're saying right now is the ideal period? I don't know. I think the burns are too long, I think. Maybe I'll grow it out again. Grow my hair down to my shoulders. I'm getting too old for that. It's a lot of work. But maybe. Okay. I'll make it 2 hours. I'm almost done with it. I'll make it a 2 hour stream. I'm at 154-ish. I'll go another 6 minutes. Why not? All right. So that's me 40 years ago. Oh, I agree. One thing this little boy doesn't have that I do. Oh, look at this. I agree. This little boy, I looked at him. He's so fucking scrawny. No meat on his bones. Look at that. There's no meat on this little boy's bones. I'm keeping the gut. Absolutely, Totem. Absolutely. And let's look here. Here I am as a teenager. You can see I've got a proto gut, but not quite there yet. 40 years ago, I had no gut. 30 years ago, I had a little protrusion. I've been working on it. With each passing decade, it gets bigger and better. I can't wait to see myself at 53. All right. That's why I want my 63-year-old self to come on. I'd love to see his fucking massive gut. Clearly, it's not going to kill me. If I live another 20 years, every 10 years, my gut gets bigger and more like the blob. It gets bigger and more beautiful. Yes. I had it. As a little boy, I had no gut. Here, I had a proto gut. You can kind of see a slight protrusion through the Incesticide album cover artwork. A proto-get. Well, the little boy looks scrawny compared to the teenager here and compared to the 40-year-old, 43-year-old middle-aged man you see before you. So I'm talking comparatively. Yes, it was in my gut. She wanted me to follow her. Yes. But enough of this nonsense. Let's get back to who is this all about originally? Let's give me a sec. Bookmark. Because I bookmarked to make the place sure. Play it safe. Where was it? It's here somewhere. There she is. Hold on. Let us all remember a woman, an American woman who died 70 years ago, 2 days ago, and who 107 years ago, at the age of 40, became the first, Marinette reservist. Let's share. Let's see here. Where is she? Here she is. There she is. The lovely Opha May Jacob Johnson. Opha May. Opha May. Opha May. Let's all remember Opha May. I want you guys to have respect for Opha May. Because this stream, this is probably, here's the one thing I can say. I might be wrong. I'm probably the only person on YouTube, of all these millions of YouTube videos, I'm probably the only person to have a stream dedicated to the 107th anniversary of Opha May's enlistment as a Marine reservist during the First World War. So, yes, I think I can safely say that. So let's drink to Opha May here. Actually, who knows? Maybe that's me. Maybe that's a photo of me. That's me in a past life. Yeah, my sideburns are getting a little too Opha May-ish. I should probably buzz them off. A little too Opha May-ish. Like, if I wanted to join the Marines as a woman in 1918, this might be fine, but today, this wouldn't work. Funny how the first female Marine was like 40 years old. Today, I don't think a 40-year-old can join the Marines, flat out. Kinda. Well, that's why. She was my great-great-grandmother, so I want to remember her. Because, this is Opha fucking May here. Pushing back behind my ears. Like that. Who knows, man? Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? What are you saying? All white people look alike? You fucking racist. All right, fine. Well, if Cassandra likes this, we got to go what Cassandra tells me to do. Yes, mommy, Cassandra. That's... Oh no, it's okay. I don't think I'm related to her, but if I am, she's most certainly a bish because I come from everyone I'm related to is either a piece of shit guy or a bish woman. So yeah, I don't think I'm related to her, but if I am, that's okay. That's okay. Yes, you can call my great great grandma a bitch because hey, she probably was. And I'm now you're messing with a great great grandson of a son of a bitch. Now you're messing with the great grandson of a son of a bitch. Now you're messing with a son of a bitch. Now you're messing with a son of a bitch. Okay. Well, I missed Donna's comment. She should say it again, and then I'll determine who I like better. I missed her comment. Restate your opinion, and I'll tell you who I believe in. What would great grandma say? What do you say, great? Who should I trust? You got to restate your opinion. Oh, by the way, there's a word for that. A female ancestor is actually properly known as an ancestress. I don't know if this bitch here is my ancestress, but if she is, she's definitely a bitch. But anyway, yeah, even Cassandra didn't pick up on it. Okay, Donda, once again, what's your hair opinion on me? I mean, neither of us got it. Well, was that a buzz cut or what was it then? I can't remember. You got to be more specific. I might agree or disagree. I got to ask. I got to do a seance, get the Ouija board, and ask my ancestress here what she thinks. So hold on. Give me. I'm going to check with her right now. Right now. All right, so I took a pen and paper, and I did what they call automatic writing. I called upon the spirit of Opha Mae Johnson, and here's what she tells me. I said, who should I go with, Donda or Cassandra? Because her ghost has been watching this. Here's what she says. I was the first American Marine-ette. Do not listen to foreigners. They are scum. If it comes down to an American woman like me versus some filthy foreign garbage, you must go with the American woman. And by the way, I wish men wore their hair like yours in my day because it's super sexy. So I agree with the American. So there we have it. Great-great-grandma Opha says, I got to go with the American girl over the Australian girl because, hey, she was the first Marinette, and that's what she tells me. Plus, she also said one last thing. Postscript. If this foreign bish can't even be bothered to repeat herself, then her opinion is worth total shit. Dog shit. There, I said it. I'm a good Victorian woman, but her opinion's with dog shit. I'm sorry, Donda, if you can't repeat yourself, I got to go with great-great-grandma here. I'm sorry. You can't repeat yourself because you're so busy, fingering your twat. I mean, hey, this woman was the first fucking Marine-ette, okay? The first U.S. Marine woman at the age of 40. I mean, I gotta go with her. I mean, hey, and she says go with Cassandra. So we're going with Cassandra on this one because, hey, that's what the ghost of Opha told me. It's not my fault. My hands are tied. I did my automatic writing, and that's the letter I got from Grandma Opha. Okay? Hey. Hey, like I said, who do you think the first Marinette would go with? Some foreign bitch or one of her fellow American twats? A fellow American twat, clearly. So I shouldn't be surprised, but we consulted the spirits. We had the seance, and there we go. That's how they spoke in those days. I don't think it was natural, but they would put on the airs. And, as the first woman to join the Marine Corps, of course she's going to speak like that. Because power banks are sexy. I want to blow them. Hold on a minute. Let me ask great-great-grandma Opha if I blew it or not. Okay, my automatic writing session's over, and here's what she says. You blew it, literally. In fact, young man, what is that filthy pink thing in your mouth? You blew it literally. But no, you did not blow it in the metaphorical sense. I don't approve of such Negroisms in American English, but you did not blow it in the metaphorical Negro sense. You blew nothing. You did the right thing going with your Native American daughter, native-born American daughter, over some fucking Australian bitch. Australia is still part of the British system, and we fought a revolution to get rid of them. Fuck them. You go with the American girl. But what is that thing you're literally blowing? What is that strange contraption? Okay, so I literally blew it, but I didn't figuratively blow it. Okay, Grandma Opha here approves of me going with Cassandra over the foreign, American Cassandra over the foreign Donda. I'm sorry. Hey, look, the spirits have spoken. I can't control these things. It's in my blood, man. She's a brave. It's where I get it from, man. A lady, it comes down through the bloodline, That's where I get it from. She wasn't rude. She was honest. You mistake honesty, and that was very loving. This was a very loving note from great-great-grandma. Our first American Marinette, I may say, you fucking traitor. She was being honest. She didn't try to sugarcoat things. She told it like it was. It's in my blood. All right, I think it's time to say goodnight. What else is? Yes, she is abrasive, but that's the thing. Like me, she's abrasive, but she's right. That's she's right. She may be abrasive, but she's correct. Okay. We need to drink a toast. A toast to Opha May Jacob Johnson. Let's drink to Opha May Johnson. Raise your glass for the first Marinette. This bitch at the age of 40 became the first woman registered as a Marine, even though she didn't do shit. Doodle-doodle-doo. Raise your glass to Opha May Johnson. Blah, blah, blah. Opha May, where are you today? Go with American girls, not some foreigner. It would be nice if James himself took that advice. She's been watching my streams. Raise it up, parade. Raise it.